happening, can you hear? Marvelous. Sinaka, I'm more than Saka. Where do you want to get my home? Can you hear? Yeah, what the fuck? I want to see another bit. Oh, my, what this? So I have to celebrate. Yeah, I do see the road. Yeah, I do with the road. My dear, what I do. The person that you're probably the guy you are playing for. My dear, leave a fool. I step up on the one and take track. If I'm good, I give one that it was say so. And if you need to go man, let me know. Say my body, you are chill. Shaka, pop your passenger. Sunday, we call it Sunday. What's the only different? When chicken say, go, so I said.
It's about musical. There are crowds in many places. In every community, you know, you can see. So if you see crime and report don't take law in your hand for the real authority. That it can't take care of it. Crime Stopper here for us, bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor, if you see a human target, enemy you cheche. Do it for your safety. If you see it, don't keep it. You must call to report it. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us.
Crime Stopper, like law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, Old Man Sam Cyan.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us.
Robbie, why you taking?
I said, darling, you look so worried.
Charles, I'm worried because I don't know where to get stuff for my shop and restaurant.
Oh, come on, man. Haven't you heard about Exeter's Best Price Store on Gurley Street and Smart Road Junction on the Old Road?
Oh, no, Charles. Tell me about it.
Exeter's Best Price Store got everything for your shop and restaurant. And the good news is that they have reduced the prices of club beer products and imported beverages. So to keep that graduation party, wedding reception, and whatever occasion jumping till the break of dawn, Exeter's Best Price Store is that place for you.
Is that all?
No, they have for the first time introduced on the LIB market Buffalo Revive that comes with 4 different flavors: Cool Blue, Apple Kiwi, Full Red, and Fitness Orange. It's good for athlete and everyone. For wholesale and retail supply, call cell number 0770-617-575. Exeter's Best Price Store on Gurley Street and the Old Road Smart Road Junction. We are your cheaper wholesale and retail store.
Exactly. When you want some more, I provide. So we start to talk. Come on, so going deep and deeper. Put it to each key. We are living since in hot.
When
Good morning, a very pleasant good morning wherever you're joining us this morning. We'd like to welcome you to another edition of the program from the Print News. As a matter of fact, today is Wednesday, and it's good to be here on the midweek edition of the program from the Print News. My name is Esther Daku, and of course, we're going to run you up to 12:30 this afternoon. Wherever you're joining us, welcome to it right here. Hopefully, we're going to have our weather report man, Suleiman Hashin Tunis, to give us the weather report. And let's quickly recognize our sponsor, Mayuba and Sons Incorporated. We want to recognize Crime Stoppers Liberia and the Excellence Best Price store on Galley Street and the Old Road. This morning on our decks, we have two local dailies, and we're going to be looking at the Front Page Africa and the Daily Observer. And yep, today we're going to do a sharp so we can have enough time to hear from you concerning all of these interesting stories that we have from the local daily, Front Page Africa and the Daily Observer. So we're going to start out with the Front Page Africa this morning. Let's see here. It says the top story. It says healing wounds through justice. Senators Jala Kanga Lawrence submits bills for establishment of war and economic crimes court to prosecute warlords and corrupt officials. Healing wounds through justice. That's the story right here. It's on page 7. We're going to flip it there, page 7, and it's right here. It says healing wounds through justice. Senators Jala Kanga Lawrence submit bills for establishment of war and economic crimes court to prosecute warlords and corrupt officials. It says 2 members of the Liberian Senate have reinforced the need for the establishment of war and economic crimes court through the submission of 2 separate bills to the national legislature. The lawmakers include Senate Pro Tempore Yomli Kanga Lawrence and Joseph Jala of Grand Bassa and Lofa counties, respectively. They submitted 2 bills entitled Acts to establish the War and Economic Crimes Court and the Corruption Crimes Court of the Republic of Liberia as part of efforts towards promoting justice, accountability, and national renewal in a communication submitted to the Liberian Senate on Tuesday, October 28, 2025. The 2 senators disclosed that their proposals are grounded in Article 34 of the 1986 Constitution of Liberia. Amongst other things, Article 34 of the Liberian Constitution empowers the national legislature to establish courts inferior to the Supreme Court. They added that their proposals also align with Joint Resolution number JR001 2024 issued by President Joseph Nima Bouakai, mandating creation of 2 distinct judicial bodies, one to address war crimes and crime against humanity in order to prosecute economic and corruption related offenses. Okay, and that's it. We're still gonna take a couple more lines, but let's have this stuff on items. Okay. So back it says, this is a defending moment for Liberia. These bills are not about revenge. They are about restoring the dignity of our nation, healing wounds through justice, and ensuring that corruption and impunity no longer define our governance. Senator Joseph Jala, sponsor of the bills, stated. According to him, the true reconciliation must rest on accountability and rule of law. He pointed out that Liberians deserve a Liberia where justice for peace, prosperity, and good governance. The true reconciliation must rest on accountability and the rule of law. Our people deserve a Liberia where justice serves as the foundation for peace, prosperity, and good governance. Senator Yomli Kanga Lawrence, co-sponsor of the bill, said, A vision rooted in the justice and renewal, the lawmakers maintain that the vision of these legislative measures is to create a Liberia where justice, accountability, and integrity are central pillars of national life. It says they stated that the proposed war crimes court seeks to address atrocities committed during Liberia's civil conflict, ensuring that victims' voices are heard and perpetrators are held accountable in accordance with international human rights standards. According to them, the Special Economic and Corruption Crimes Court aims to strengthen domestic anti-corruption mechanisms, close gap in prosecutorial capacity, and reinforce public trust in state institutions. The lawmakers mentioned that these courts represent a framework looking, I mean, a forward-looking framework for building a society where impunity is replaced by justice and corruption by transparency. Mission of the sponsors, Senator Jala disclosed that the mission of the proposed legislation center on upholding the rule of law, promoting justice, and advancing democratic accountability as the foundation for sustained peace and national unity. He said that it is also in line with his leadership, which emphasizes institutional reform, integrity in governance, and equitable access to justice for all Liberians. For her part, Senator Kanga Lawrence pointed out that her mission focuses on inclusive governance, social justice, and empowering citizens, especially women and youth, to become active participants in nation building. Her advocacy seeks to ensure that the government remains responsive, transparent, and accountable to the people. Together, lawmakers added that their collaboration reflects a bipartisan commitment to justice and reform, uniting Liberians' leadership around a shared goal, a nation reconciled with its past and determined to secure a brighter, more accountable future. And this is a call to action. It says the sponsors express optimism that their colleagues in the Senate will handle these bills with the seriousness and urgency they deserve. Both lawmakers underscored that the establishment of these courts is not a political act, but a moral and constitutional responsibility, necessary step towards consolidating peace, justice, and economic integrity. We must build a Liberia where justice is not selective, where corruption is not a culture, and where the law serves all, not a few, Senator Jala asserted. History will judge us by the courage we show today to right the wrongs of yesterday, Senator Kanga Lawrence. Meanwhile, the bills have been forwarded to the relevant committees of the Liberian Senate to report back to the plenary, the highest decision-making body of the Liberian Senate. We're going to stop you here and look at more stories. This says the oil block flipper is back. Ex-Speaker Kofi Rebellion warned against controversial allies. Oranto ordeal in letter to lawmakers. Page 7 also got this story. We'll take some lines from here. It says a storm brewing in the corridors of the Liberian legislature as two prominent lawmakers, Speaker Jeff lawmakers, former Speaker Jeff Funanti Kofi and Representative Musa Asambeladi have raised alarm over what they describe as a corrupt, dangerous, or agreement between the government of Liberia and Adla. In a strongly worded communication addressed to the chairpersons of the Committee on Hydrocarbon, Samuel P. Jalai, Investment and Concession for the Family, and Judiciary Johnson Williams, the two lawmakers urged their colleagues to return the deal to the executive branch, citing a troubling history of corruption, lack of transparency, and companies' inability to fulfill its contractual obligations. Few months in our sojourn as legislators will require us to stand up vigorously for the future of this country and the judgment of history. We are afraid one of those times is now. the letter stated. Speaker Kofi and Rebellion reminded their colleagues that Oranto Petroleum, a Nigerian-owned company, was previously granted 3 oil blocks, LB11, LB12, and LB14, in 2007 under the controversial circumstances. According to reports by as Publicar Global Witness and Forbes, the transactions violated the U.S. Foreign Corrupt uh, Practices Act and was marred by bribery and fraud. Oranto allegedly made over US 150 million after flipping the oil blocks to Chevron through a straw man, the Canadian Overseas Petroleum Limited, without drilling a single well or making any tangible investment in Liberia. If it looks like corruption, quacks like the corruption, it must be corruption, the lawmakers wrote, suggesting that any renewed engagement with Oriental raises serious ethical and legal concerns. The lawmakers further criticized the latest deal for being negotiated in secrecy, bypassing competitive bidding processes that could have attracted more qualified and transparent investors. They pose a serious pointed question: who are Oranto's Liberian lawyers and partners who advised the government on this deal? How was the 5% Liberian participation hindered, and who are the beneficiaries? Why did the signing bonus drop from US 10 million to US 1.2 million? Did Oranto demonstrate the required US 3 billion financial capacity? These are the transparency questions that must be answered before the people's duties can pass on this matter, the lawmakers asserted. Kofi ability also cast doubt on Oranto's technical and financial capacity, noting that the company has no record of ultra deep water drilling anywhere in the world. They urged that Liberia's petroleum potential deserves partnerships with globally recognized players such as ExxonMobil, Chevron, Shell, BP, Total Energies, Petrobras, and Equinor companies with proven experience and financial strength. With such an enormous array of capable companies, why did the government see the need to engage Oranto at all? The question. But we'll leave you there. Grab a copy to read that story in depth. We're going to leave you there. We have lots of other stories here to look at. This is wrongly targeted. Former Justice Minister Dean petitions Supreme Court over George arrest order, claims unfair targeting in diamond ownership dispute. Page 8, lots of interesting stories here this morning. And let's flip to page 8 of this paper. And well, this is now on page 8, but okay, that's page 10. Let's go back a little bit. Okay, we have page 8 right here. And the story is right here. Okay, that's not it. We just have to keep flipping until we can find the actual story here. Let's search on page. Okay, it's also not here. And this story is on page 5, but it's stipulated as page 8. So we'll take some lines from here. Wrongly targeted former Justice Minister Dean petitions Supreme Court over George's arrest order, claims unfair targeting in diamond ownership dispute. Former Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Republic of Liberia, Councillor Frank Musa Dean Jr., has filed a bill of information before the Supreme Court of Liberia, challenging what he describes as an unlawful attempt by a lower court judge to hold him personally liable and order his arrest in connection with a long-running diamond ownership dispute in Bapolu County. In a petition filed on October 23rd, Councillor Dean seeks the Supreme Court's intervention against his Honor J. Buema Kontu, assigned circuit judge of the Civil Law Court 6th Judicial Circuit, Montserrado County, and other respondents, including Sheriff of the Court, T. David Slowward, Abraham Kamara, and Mohammed J.R. Kamara, all holders of the Class C mining licenses in Babalu County. The matter stems from the discovery of a 53.34 carat diamond in Smithtown, Bowman Mining District number 2, Babalu County in April 2022, which sparked widespread controversy and competing ownership claims. According to the Bill of Information, the diamond was found on a claim whose mining license has expired nearly a year before the discovery. The Ministry of Mines and Energy reportedly informed the Ministry of Justice that a lesson for claim 12F survey expired on May 25th, 2022, and that the claim holders only made payment for a new license on April 28th, 2023, a week after the diamond was discovered. Based on this, the Ministry of Justice, under Dane's leadership, at the time advised that the diamond legally belonged to the government of Liberia, as mineral rights under expired licenses revert to the state under Section 9.9 of the Minerals and Mining Law of 2000. Councillor Dane cited Article 22B of the 1986 Constitution of Liberia, which states that private property rights do not extend to mineral resources beneath the land, emphasizing that the government should have been the seller of the diamond and the proceeds deposited into national revenue. In August 2024, the Supreme Court of Liberia, in an opinion delivered by Chief Justice Siane Ayo, ruled that the diamond be returned to the miners T. Davis Slowward and Abraham Kamara, or that they be paid for its fair market value. However, the court clarified that the proper party in the case was the government of Liberia by and through the Ministry of Mines and Energy, not individual ministers or agents of government agencies. Despite this clear distinction, the Civil Law Court presided over by George Conto allegedly attempted to enforce the judgment against Councillor Dane and other former officials, including former Mines Minister Gisela Marie and officials of the Diamond Dealers Association of Liberia. Travesty of Justice says in this petition, Dean strongly objected to the Civil Law Court's action, describing them as a travesty of justice. He stated that he was never served notice of a court conference scheduled for September 29, yet the presiding judge issued a ruling dated September 26 ordering his arrest and that of other individuals, including former Assistant Minister Emmanuel T.T. Swan. How is it that a judge ruled on September 26, reassigning the matter to September 29, and yet deliver a ruling dated the same day ordering arrest? Dean questioned in his filing, suggesting that no hearing was ever held. Councillor Dean argued that as former Attorney General, he acted within his statutory and constitutional authority in providing a legal opinion to the Ministry of Mines and Energy. He maintained that the Minister of Justice cannot be personally liable for official legal advice rendered to government agencies. Citing Article 21I of the Constitution, Dean emphasized that a lawyer-client relationship is invaluable and lawyers are immune from government sanctions or punishment for performing their professional duties. He further argued that he was never a party to the original case and therefore cannot be bound by its judgment. The government of Liberia, not individual officials, is responsible for satisfying the Supreme Court's judgment. The case is civil in nature and not one of which individuals can be imprisoned under Section 44.712 of the Civil Procedure Law. Lawyers thing. Let's leave you here and look at more stories here. There are a lot of things to talk about this morning. Of course, lots of interesting stories. But let's take the banner headline. And it says, experts warn international port authority fraud. Allegations threaten investors. Confidence in Liberia shaken by the law. When the senior public officials are accused of using state influence to seize private assets, it damages Liberia's reputation as a safe destination for investment. Okay, we see a photograph of a couple of people here. This paper and bring you this interesting story. It says that Liberian investment climate faces renewed scrutiny following allegations of fraud and criminal deception against the managing director of the National Port Authority, that Mr. Sekou Dukle, Chinese investor Yang Dean, has accused the NPA boss of unlawfully seizing control of his multi-million-dollar mineral water enterprise and misappropriating over US 3 million intended for joint business ventures. The accusation have sent shockwaves through the nation's business and political cycles, rekindling concerns about transparency, governance, and the treatment of foreign investors in Liberia. Speaking to reporters near his factory along the Bomi Highway, Mr. Yang described what he called as a calculated abuse of power that left him locked out of his company. Sekou denies me access to my factory and kicked me out overnight. He said, alleging that police officers under Mr. Dukle's influence forcibly removed him from the premises. Yang claims he invested over US 2.55 million into a mineral water bottling plant and an additional US 1 million towards a mining venture that never materialized. He further alleged that significant portions of these funds were diverted for Mr. Dukle's personal use, including luxury purchases and private property renovations. Mr. Dukle reportedly under police investigation for alleged fraud and criminal deception. Repeated attempts to obtain comments from both the NPA managing director and the Liberian National Police proved unsuccessful as of press time. Young legal team contends that the NPA had used his public position to intimidate and marginalize their clients, undermining due process despite an active court case concerning ownership and management of the company. The dispute has reportedly turned violent in May 2025 as the Young was allegedly assaulted in Monrovia and attacked. His lawyer claims it is linked to the ongoing business feud. Police have not confirmed any arrest. Business leaders warn that the case could have a chilling effect on investor sentiment when senior public officials are accused of using state influence to seize private assets. It damages Liberia's reputation as a safe destination for investment, business consultant Sarah Solo said in a recent social media post. Well, that's the story. And I believe that once there are documentations stating all of these, the money that was, invested and all of that, I think this thing can be taken to court. So let's look at more stories. President Joseph Boakai sudden sacking of top officials stir anxiety and public curiosity. President Boakai pattern of dismissals began early this year with a series of unexplained removals and suspensions across various ministries and agencies. What started as isolated incident now appears to be a deliberate strategy and an attempt to reassert authority and instill discipline in a bureaucracy that has long been accused of efficiency, corruption, and divided loyalties. Well, that's all of what we can take from here today. Let's run to the next paper we have on our decks. We have the Daily Observer. Let's look at the Daily Observer. And the top story here says massive land grab places Grandjita on a time bomb as conflict brews between affected communities and local authorities. Page 10 have this story. Let's flip to page 10 quickly and I have some lines. Okay, I think it's here. And we're going to take some lines from this story. It says a storm is gathering deep within the dense Behel forest of Grandjita County on that has exposed the fragile balance between local governance, land ownership, and community rights in Liberia Southeast. What began as a purported development initiative to lease 500 acres of farmland to a Burkinabe national has morphing into a full-blown land dispute that threatens to ignite social unrest and deepen distrust between citizens and their local leaders. At the center of the controversy is a 30-year lease agreement signed by Superintendent Ellis C. Grant with Burkina investor Bobo Cebu, allowing Cebu to cultivate cocoa on 500 acres of land situated in the Bihar Administrative District. According to the agreement, the investor is to pay US 150,000 every 10 years, amounting to US 600,000 over the lease period, which proceeds reportedly impact or earmark for the County Development Fund. Yet what was presented as the mutually beneficial deal has since triggered outrage among local residents, traditional leaders, and lawmakers who insist the arrangement violates the Land Right Act of 2018, which mandates the community consultation and consent before any lease or concession on customary land. Enraged locals speak out in Bihar, Jazon town. Chief Moses Toyo could barely contain his frustration as he spoke to journalists in an interview over the weekend. Well, we'll leave you here. Let's run through more stories this morning. Let's have more stories. Okay, we have our Nima lawmaker pushes for expansive audit of the House of Representatives. Representatives says covering 2018 to 2025 will restore public trust, strengthening accountability. And this is also right here. We see this story on page 3 of the paper. And it says Nima County District 7 Representative Musa Hassanbeladi called for a broader and more inclusive financial audit of the House of Representatives, extending the review period from 2018 to 2025 instead of the current scope of 2022 to 2024. Belati, a former chairman of the Rule of Law Caucus and political leader of the newly established Citizens Movement for Change, made a call through a formal communication to Speaker Richard Namekun and members of the House. He said an expansive audit would enhance public confidence, strengthen institutional integrity, and demonstrate commitment to transparency and accountability. And it says, speaking to journalists after his communication was read during a Thursday's session, Reability commended the House leadership for initiating an audit process, but questioned the decision to limit the period to only 3 years. While I commend the leadership for initiating this important process, he wrote, I believe that the limited scope of the audit does not reflect the true spirit of accountability and transparency that this institution owes to the Liberian people. Well, let's leave it there and see more stories. Liberia regains UN tourism membership after 13 years. A new dawn for a sleeping giant is a question, and that's right here. Liberia regains UN tourism membership after 13 years. A new dawn for a sleeping giant. And then this is LRC chair designate commits to transforming legal system. This story is on page 3 of the paper. You can grab a copy. Let's come to the back page. See education as a tool for service transformation. AMEZU graduates urge. And then we have finally for the back page of this paper, CMC faces scrutiny as Diaspora chair resigns. Grace Goar, sudden exit sparks transparency concerns. So far, folks, these are all of the stories we have for the two papers we have on our decks, the Front Page Africa and the Daily Observer. When we get our weather report, we'll definitely come back to do a recap of the stories we have followed. Let's send controls to Suleiman Hashim Tunis, who just joined us with our 4-hour weather report. Good morning to you, Tunis.
Good morning, Esther. Good morning, Mama Liberia. Assalamu alaikum to my Muslim brothers and sisters. Your weatherman, Suleiman Hashim Tunis, is about to give you the weather. Today, weather high is 83, feels like 90. So be prepared for another hot day. And it's partly sunny. Humidity is about 80 degrees. So be prepared for a very hot day. And probably in the afternoon or early evening, you'll get a little bit of shower, but those are the shower that comes and bring more heat. So don't worry about it. And today we're going to give you some other area also, what the weather going to be looking like. Like for instance, the Cinco area, the weather going to be like 83 degrees, seems as 90, feels like 90. The humidity is about 80 degrees. It's going to be cloudy a little bit, the same thing with the Monrovia area. And if we go to Painesville giving you 84 degrees, feels like 93. And it might rain around the Painesville area this afternoon. You might have a little bit of rain in the Painesville area. So tomorrow, Thursday, the weather is telling us that the Monrovia area is going to be sunny, very sunny, 83 degrees, feels the same way, 90, feel like 90. And you're going to be a lot of humid. Your body will feel the heat. So don't overdress yourself. And probably the same thing in the evening hour, early evening hour, you'll find yourself a little bit of shower. Those are the shower you don't even pay attention to because it's not serious rain. Okay, Friday, you might have a rain in the afternoon hour all the way to the evening hour, 6 p.m. Around that area from lunchtime to 6 p.m. In between there, you might have a little shower and lightning. So prepare yourself. That's your weather report. You're gonna have a lot of sunshine, a lot of heat. So dress accordingly. And starting from today, we'll be giving you even some other county who listening to Freedom FM will do you that favor because it's on demand that we are not including them. So we'll select certain county like Lofa, like Bassa, like Nima, we will include them in to give you the weather report for that, so that when you go into your farm, you know exactly what you're going to go do there.
So you'll be telling us whether snow is falling in Nima, eh?
Yeah, whether it's going to for snow going to fall or whatever.
Yes, no, seriously.
Okay, Esther, thank you so much for being here with you this morning, and we'll see you tomorrow morning.
Okay.
I have to go to work.
Okay. Thank you so much, Tunis. Thank you for the weather report. It's appreciated. I guess everybody will know how to carry themselves while we have the weather report. Thank you. And we want to encourage you to keep your transactions coming in with the cash giveaway, like Ibrahim Kamara said. Keep it coming in as soon as he gets back, because I will be out of here by 12:30. As soon as the guy gets back, you get your cash. So keep your transactions coming in. Don't stop playing. *255*1# is the code. And it's $50 to play. Keep it coming in. That's how you win. You got to keep playing. Because if you just want to play and lay back and wait to win, it is difficult, to be honest. The more you play, the better your chances. So keep your transactions coming in. You have enough time to do it. Do it as much as you can so that when Ibrahim Kamara gets back, he can do the draw and you can be the winner. Okay, so back to what we're doing here. Let's do a recap quickly and take word from our sponsor. We have the Daily Observer. We brought you story on massive land grab places Grand Jita on a time bomb as conflict brews between affected communities and local authorities. Nima County lawmaker pushes for expansive audit of the House of Representatives. Reability says covering 2018 to 2025 will restore public trust, strengthen accountability. And this is Liberia regains UN tourism membership after 13 years. A new dawn for a sleeping giant is a question. LRC chair designate commits to transforming legal system. At the back page of the Daily Observer, see education as tool for service transformation. AME Zion University graduates urged. CMC faces scrutiny as diaspora chair resigns. Grace Gore's sudden exit sparks transparency concerns. And on the front page Africa newspaper this morning, we brought you Hewley Woon. Through justice, Senators Jala and Kanga Lawrence submit bills for establishment of war and economic crimes court to prosecute warlords and corrupt officials. The all-black flipper is back. Ex-Speaker Kofi Rebelete warned against controversial Atlas Oranto ordeal in letter to lawmaker. Wrongly targeted former Justice Minister Dane petition Supreme Court over George arrest other claims unfair targeting in diamond ownership disputes. And then this story says that experts warn National Port Authority fraud allegations threatened investors' confidence in Liberia, shading by the law. When senior public officials are accused of using state influence to seize private assets, it damages Liberia's reputation as a state destination for investment. And then this is the final story from the front page Africa we brought to you. President Bouakar's sudden sacking of top officials stir anxiety and public curiosity. Who's next is a question. President Bouakar pattern of dismissals begun early this year with a series of unexplained removals and suspensions across various ministries and agencies. What started as isolated incident now appears to be a deliberate strategy in an attempt to reassert authority and instill discipline in a bureaucracy that has long been accused of inefficiency, corruption, and divided loyalties. These are the stories. We're going to take word from our sponsors. Definitely when we come back, we're coming back with our talking point.
There are crowds in many places, in every community, you can see. So if you see crime, report it. Don't take law in your hands, for the right authority. They can't take your law in. Crime Stopper here for us, bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor, if you see you must talk it, I mean you check. Do it for your safety. If you see don't keep it. I'm a part of report it. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is here for you. Remember, you see it, you report it. This is a message from your own self, Old Man Sam Sion.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us.
Rabbi, what you taking?
I said, darling, you look so worried.
Charles, I'm worried because I don't know where to get stuff for my shop and restaurant.
Oh, come on, man. Haven't you heard about Exeter's Best Price Store on Gurley Street and Smart Road Junction on the Old Road?
Oh no, Charles, tell me about it.
Exeter's Best Price Store got everything for your shop and restaurant. And the good news is that they have reduced the prices of club beer products and imported beverages. So to keep that graduation party, wedding reception, and whatever occasion jumping till the break of dawn, Exeter's Best Price Store is that place for you.
Is that all?
No, they have for the first time introduced on the LIV market Buffalo Revive that comes with 4 different flavors: Cool Blue, Apple Kiwi, Full Red, and Fitness Orange. It's good for athlete and everyone. For wholesale and retail supply, call cell number 0770-617-575. Exeter's Best Price Store on Gurley Street and the Old Road Smart Road Junction. We are your cheaper wholesale and retail store.
He said, when you want some more, I provide. So we start to talk. Come on, so going deep and deeper. Put in thought to Ichiki. Bila living sense.
One chicken say, Bogo ni oko, it's a gossip. As soon as they break, one chicken say, Bogo ni oko, it's a fussy.
A very pleasant welcome back this morning, wherever you're joining us. We want to encourage you to keep joining us every weekday from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., where of course we bring you all of the fascinating stories from our local dailies. We usually like to look at the Front Page Africa and the Daily Observer. But this morning, my attention has been drawn to a couple of stories, not just a story, because these things are important that we talk about them every day. Things that are happening in our country, even things that are happening far away from our nation's capital where most of us reside. My attention this morning is drawn firstly to this deal the lawmakers are talking about. Ex-Speaker Kofa and Musa Hassan Belete with this Atlas Oriental. This is a company that have been operating in Liberia previously, 2007, and for a couple of years they were here, and there were some shady deeds that went on that at the end of the day these guys, turned over to another company. And most of these concession companies that come into our country, whether it's into petroleum, whatever it is that comes into our country, they go through legal scrutinings where there are things that I agree upon, MOU or whatever way of paying taxes that these guys discuss or go through and sign and everything. We noticed that most of these companies will make an agreement that they're going to do this, that they're going to do that, when it comes to development and all of that. This is a company that stayed in this country for several years and they were not able to deliver on a single thing that were promised. But now my question here, or my thing here, is not just about this company, because how is it that a company where is this in your country and they are supposed to do a certain thing, or they are supposed to pay a certain thing, or try to develop certain area of the country that was agreed upon, and they did not do it, but you allowed them to run this company in the country for all the number of years. So I'm not going to talk about this company. I'm going to talk about those that are in charge, or those that are tasked with the responsibility to run after these things. We said the same thing on yesterday when we were here. We talk about people taking money from these companies for their personal gains without looking at what the Liberian people gets at the end, or what goes into government covers. And that's why we're always running after these foreign companies, because at the end of the day, we sign agreement with these people, certain percentage comes to us as individuals. We benefit from them and we don't care about the rest of the people. It is a sad thing that this company is coming back and the house have not been given the due diligence, or have not been able to review this, and you're just jumping ahead with this deal. It shows that there's no regard for the rule of law in this country. People just feel that when they are taxed with a responsibility, they can just do anything and nobody questions that. And I'm hoping that the lawmakers will not allow this deal to go through. Because these people believe that at the end of the day, when they start running their companies in this country, they just have to meet one or two persons and be able to give them a share of whatever they'll be doing, which is far less than what the Liberian people are going to benefit from, which these people we put in the very positions they are in today don't care about. They definitely don't care about it. For the fact that they get their money they want, their children are able to go outside of the country to study. Who told you they care about the rest of us? They don't. At the end of the day, these are people we trust with our country. For the fact that you elect a leader and this leader appoints people who will come to corrupt the system, it all falls on you as a leader. And it's funny that you want to take this very same company and bring them back. Looking at the different oil dealers or people that are involved in, in real transparent work. You're not doing due diligence only because you know this thing or because you're going to get a percentage, and so you want to enforce it or impose it on the Liberian people. But we're hoping that these lawmakers can do their jobs, because that's why they are there. We cannot go to the house individually and say, yes, we want this. Yes, we want this. That's why we have them. They are a direct representation of what the people want. That's why we have districts. And that's why these things should be discussed. But this is Liberia. We don't have these kind of things. When last were you ever called to a meeting where the lawmaker is in that meeting and you're discussing something that has to do with the benefit of that particular community or district? When last? We don't do these things. There are laws that are passed that we do not even know about. At the end of the day, when you are arrested, the court will definitely tell you that ignorance to the law is no excuse, because it is your lawmakers that you put in those very positions. They are the ones that should be telling you that we are passing this law. What you say about it? They don't care about that. They will pass these laws at the end of the day. When you are caught up and you don't know, you will go say, oh, I didn't know, and scratching your head and all of that. And there's no excuse for that. That's what the code says. Or that's what the law says. The ignorant of it, there's no excuse. So this is like the Liberia we find ourselves in. We're looking forward that we can have people who will live by their word, where people will not bypass, something and go to be getting something personal for themselves, while they are depriving the country of the kind of revenue they're supposed to be having. At the end of the day, we run all around the place and saying we don't have this, we don't have that. We have all of the natural resources. We have all of the natural resources. Look at the story that talk about the former minister of justice, Musa Dini situation, where this person mined a diamond when the lesson was expired and all of that. I mean, we got diamond in this country. We got golds. We got all the minerals that could bring a lot of revenue to this country. And we have people mine them and sell them. And the government does not have an arm or an institution established that mines these minerals that Liberia can sell out to the rest of the world. Is this not how it should be done? There is no way you will go to a developed country today and they have natural resources, and the Liberian man will move from here, go establish a mining company in that particular country and receive the percentage that we normally get from these companies. It's never going to be that way. And until Liberia can get on path, can have what we deserve, this is it. This is it. And I also don't think that the minister should be even be held held liable because he was acting by the law. He was appointed to do his job, and that was his job he was doing at the time. If you mine something, if you go to do a mining while your license is expired, it belongs to the government because at that point you don't have the right to mine. You don't have the right, and the documents are there. And so it was also revisited. The former Chief Justice visited it and he was vindicated. But the case has resurfaced again. And we're here, we're watching to see what's going to come out of it. If the laws are on the book, let's go by the law. This is not about a political party. This is not about who is in power or who is not in power. If it was not done under the law, like what happened to Brandon Samuka when he took those funds and diverted it, whether it was the president that was giving him order or not, as long as it's not on the book, he can be held reliable. That is why he was held liable for that. But this is Liberia, and this is the situation we find ourselves in. And another story that has to do with this Sekou Dukle guy from the Port Authority. If this is actually true that this foreign national was trying to do a joint business with him, made his investment, and he's trying to use his power to push this guy off, it is a certain that anybody will want to use power to push people or confiscate things that belong to those people because you feel that you're in power and feels like you have the authority and all of that. This is going to be scaring investors away. It's going to scare investors away. And if this is truly what it is, because nobody go into deal without documentation. Where are the documents to that? Yes, this guy received this amount from you. You guys agree upon this thing. That's why you don't just go talking to people verbally, and making money exchange and all of that. You don't do that. Because at the end of the day, you'll be harming yourself. No documents, to back what you're saying, then to be honest, you're going to lose at the end of the day. So I'm sure this foreign national has enough sense. I believe that there are documentations to this effect. And Sekou Dukle is not above the law. Nobody is above the law. There are also laws that protect these foreign investors. And so we're also looking forward to hearing what's going to happen. Because if this is actually happening and this guy is still surfing at the port, I don't know whether he's still surfing at the port. But if he's still surfing at the port, I think his people should call him. Because this is not a good news for our country. This is all over the media. And the guy is talking. There were some people who even went to harass him. None of them were arrested. This is not a good image for our country. We were just dancing around. Yes, people dancing around yesterday talking about Liberia has been declared, safe. But is it safe enough to protect everybody? That somebody will leave their country, come to invest in your country, and then you want to steal from them? That is not a good thing. But let's go to our telephone line. Let's hear from you guys. You listen to all of the stories we have read from the two local dailies on our decks. Let's engage the audience. Let's hear what you guys have to say concerning these different things that are happening in our country. We talked about the wrongful target of Musa Dean concerning the diamond that was mine. Was it 2000 and that's 2022? This happened, and he's been ordered arrested, or there has been the court has just released how do we call it? And this Musa Dean should be arrested, which I don't think is the way forward. This case has been visited, and before you arrest somebody in the first place, there must first be a conference call for. So if the court have not called for conference and you are asking this guy to be arrested, if there's a writ out there for him, this does not look good for our country. Call us on 0776 500-104. Those of you following us on the diaspora, call us on +231-886-500-104. Let's quickly run to the comment section. We will come to take the calls. Let's see what we have from the comment section. We have Alahaji Kakaba. He says he's following from the borough of Newtown. Henry Tito Jr. says, good morning, my Freedom FM family. I am watching from my residence in Cardwell. Thanks for the update to our country, Mama Liberia, and the weather report, man. Tunis, Uncle Tunis. We have Ojugu David says, good morning, Freedom FM family. I'm watching you live from ELW Junction, Painesville City. We have Dietrich Vibe says, good morning, Freedom FM. I'm watching you from New Matadi. My name is Dietrich. We have Abraham and Addison. He says, greeting. I'm following live. We have Peter Topa. He says, good morning, following from Dubai Road. We have Brooks Dennis. He says, following you from Grand Crew County this morning. We have John T. Towell. He says, good morning, Freedom FM family. I'm following from SKD Boulevard Junction, District 6. Happy birthday, Hap Mom. Have a wonderful day. We have Stephen Eba says, good morning, Freedom FM print news family. I'm following live from Dakar, Senegal. We have Forrest Cooper. He says, watching from Javier Postville. We have Stephen Yakade says, good morning. I'm following from Cotton Tree District 2, Lower Margibi County. And these are all the comments so far. Let's come to our telephone lines now and let's start to take some calls. Keep your calls coming to 0776 104 104 0886 500 104. These are the numbers you can call us on this morning. Let's talk about these things that are happening in our country. You know, government bypassing the House of Representatives, you know, to bring deals into the country, you know, that have not been looked into to see, you know, whether it's in the interest of the people. Because if you want to have these things in our country, it must go through the proper channel. You cannot grant these to people, you know, without going through the requisite authority or using the proper means in which it should be used. Same way we talk about the yellow machine that was brought into the country bypassing the PPCC Act, which was not a good thing for our country. So call us this morning. Let's talk about these things. 0776 104 104 0886 500 104. Let's we have a call on our diaspora line. Let's take this person. Hello, welcome. Hello. Oh, internet. Caller, are you on the line? Hello? Oh, I don't know. Thing is the internet. But keep your calls coming in this morning to 0776 104 104 0886 500 104. We have this call on our local line. Let's have you. Welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead.
I'm running this recording from location Lemo.
Go ahead.
What I had to say this morning is just laughable. They rescue Islam and surrogate has already built this country. So we have done. We were not. Let me get there. We're not surprising to me that these people were going to go this way. Like people to play a lesson to that challenge. Investor, you scared the way investor in our country. So you have put our country on the wrong place. Because I don't know, you will not see what pioneer or some person that I want to do any business on the program for administration. So this rescue surrogate with this monkey by Chabatan. We will waiting for them to remove them. So we looking at that to say more. And these people that put it there, they are supposed to their rescue. They started rescue that put it there. They are already seen. They're passing around in the community. They are in economic solution. They don't know what to do. But look at this surrogate. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you very much. Let's go to another person. Hello, welcome.
Good afternoon, Master.
Welcome to the show. Good morning. Go ahead.
This is the common board chairman. I'm chairman. You get started. So you from the support this morning.
Go ahead.
You know, Daku, when you say you come to be a responsible government, don't just say it as a cliche. No, when you say you're responsible, it means you should act responsibly. When you say you're responsible, respecting the law are part of responsibility. Because why? You took an oath. When this government was being initiated, was being functioned in like before, there was all order given to every one of them, whether it was by the Senate or by the House of Representatives, which was done for the president. All of it took oath to uphold and maintain our constitution. And when you can use it, you will be a responsible government, and you are not being responsible. It's on there, even there you say, oh, this is a responsible government. That's responsible government. But then when it comes to act responsibly now, we are not seeing the acting responsibly. They are lacking behind. When they say you're responsible, it means you're responsible to take care of the needs of the people. Let's take for instance the needs of the people. And so, they take a microphone around the community. This is a school hour, right? We'll see the number of children out of school are either equal or even more than the number of children in school. It is not being responsible. The responsible government that all around the area you get or major sector that every day grow up in that don't get a common place for a government house. People will sit there. This person, you got bigger. Every day those guys who are working and taking taxpayer money, working government functionary, they go there every day. They are instructive. They don't know how to propagate the government message. Anything a year, they say for us that they take it to Mika. They are turning our whole area to a causing ground. That's the critique of government function. So that's not responsibility. Let's tell these people that when you say you're responsible, you must be intentional about responsibility. Don't just use the word responsible as a cliche. Thank you.
Okay. Hello, welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show. What is your name?
I'm calling for Sonora District Reserve Mokande.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you for the topic on discussion. Yeah, I don't know it was very fun, but you know, this Geneva government is the government that is very doing great. You are we are saying you are not very fair to this country, but you need a motivating government. You can't say this government is in power and you want to criticize or talking a lot of things. The government is one of the government that in the style like very very doing well. Can you imagine? Play a phone now, they play a phone. Some of the district is now the former CB. But you can't see her sick there for her there. She not get her sick there. They want. Nothing else there for her. They were very bad. So I'm not expect your like we don't have them. Other than I can listen to the future. We don't have them most often. But sometimes I can read to nothing. It can very make sense.
Okay. So let's move to another person quickly. Hello, welcome. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. Go ahead.
Yeah. Mr. Devilson Sako. Yeah, from here there. Yeah. Something is from my mom. The thing to the Buchanan beef. That's their home.
Okay, yeah. That's one of the stories. Go ahead.
I'm too worried about.
You're too worried about. Hello? Caller, are you on the line? Oh no, that's too bad. I don't know what happened. His credit was probably harmonized. But let's move on to another person. That issue of Burkina Bees in Grand Chida County is very interesting, and this is something that government really seriously have to look into it, because we don't know whether the government is actually involved with what happened. The superintendent going ahead, with the deal without the residents of that particular town, or the town chief, not in the know of all of this. This is a serious thing, and government seriously have to step in before the people take the law in their hands. Hello, welcome.
Yeah, my darling Dago, how do you? This is my work, people defender.
Welcome to the show, my water.
Yeah, I want to say thank you this morning. My daughter, you are said it all. Nothing a day that I not see. You know, Esther, the whole country, the whole government. One for them for that Joseph Baka is doing great. Yeah, Joseph Baka doing great. Because for him, everything all right for him. The why he said Joseph Baka doing great. That whole president will get in the GLL, the country, the citizen, they will not be happy for them to get president. We happy we get president. But the thing we're going on is now we're not expecting for Joseph Baka. We're not expecting for him. But also we hear about $1 billion, everything we hear about $1 billion. We're not seeing where the impact that affecting the citizen. My daughter, the late thing around with doing what say you selling the late bread. Why are they making my daughter? Yeah, I'm putting it down in the bay I'm making. It gets full. During eating, I give it up. Market will take it from people to say it's not easy. Then they put the men doing well. The men who are doing well for here assembly. They were working, I didn't want to do well for because they're not doing well for us. You put market down one day, we say the son. Nobody. Everybody buying said no money. We're not working in your comment. We're not working there. But at least when you get your market and buy a finish, you want to come to school to play or join the school. Last year, that one of our guys helped me, one of my son is in school, my two children are not sitting down. They said, I'm not going to school because even the left son, I'm telling you, they can buy. So they drink, so they're not doing well for them because they're getting the package, but they're not getting everybody package. So forget for the doing school fees, they read this, they're not easy. Thank you, my daughter, you were talking. But one day, what will deliver for them, they can not say that for our pay. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Let's come to the diaspora line, and I have this person on. Hello, welcome. Hello, are you on the line? Welcome to the show. Go ahead.
Good morning, Esther. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. I'm Anna calling from USA, San Antonio.
Welcome to the show. Go
Esther,
ahead.
Thank you. My concern has been drawn to the issue of the Burkina Bees. I tell you, our people have to come up now to speak, to take the people from the country. No, speaking to you, I grew up in Ghana. I'm from Liberia, but I grew up in Ghana. They carry the same thing to Ghana. 1971, the Ghana government had to come up. Look, when they're in every country, that country can develop. They will make sure they will fight you to take your resources. They will claim citizenship. The dangerous, so the Burkina Faso, the Nigerians, the Fulanese, they are dangerous any country they're in. Those people made the Liberian government to Ghana government to declare go back home. If you go to history, 1971, I was going to school. They made the Ghanaians. The Ghanaian was down. Ghana government was down. Poverty. The people had to drive people to go back home. We cannot be number one. When we were going trucks upon trucks, the people home. And I was coming to Liberia. Our people have to come up now. Let them go. Let them go. One call one, two will call two, three will call two. Then population will be more than our population time to come. Let our people sit and look at them. That they can come.
And the sad part about it is the people were not even in the know when they leased that land to them.
The hard they can come. They can just get few persons in their favor. They get few persons. Through that, the few persons, they will get land. They will start making farm. If people get married, they'll start money. 3 call 3. The whole people, the population will take over the population of the community, citizen. Then they're going, start burning. Trouble is coming. Our people sitting down looking at it. Trouble coming. They are dangerous. Burkina Faso, they are dangerous. I mean, I know them from Ghana. They are dangerous. The Ghana government had to drive those people in 1971. Force them. They didn't even want to go. They forced them from then on to the Nigerian, from the Nigerian to the other tribe. Our people had to call President Thomas to send ship for the Liberians to come home. It was not easy. I wish to stand up now and let people leave the country. Other than that, who will get our country will run away and leave them there. That what happened in Ghana. I'm telling you, they didn't call the Ghanaian government to tell them about the post story in Ghana. That's my concern. See, I've been hearing about them. That's my big concern.
Okay. Thank you for calling. Let's go to other lines. Hello. Caller, are you on the line? Welcome to the show. We're not going to continue on that. If you can walk away from your radio, please don't call us. Hello, welcome.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. Go ahead. This is Esther. This is not Alexa. And you got to be audible. Yes.
Yeah, thank you for the program this morning. Yeah, and I just walk it over my daughter, my sister. The country is tough. But when other people come in, all they want, they can be begin at one, they say they begin somebody else, all they talk. You talk about 5%, I get ruining you know, I get ruining you. I ain't the road. No, I don't know, carry you. They're going to pass it to me. They're going to be told they want to talk about anything. Ghana government, when I show it, people need to show it. I don't know. Okay, power. When they want for a teacher, they will say, I'm people there to go through your money. So, like, they will say, I will never go. Our children, no school fees. See how? But they just forgot doing work. Just forgot doing work, I will enjoy. Our parents, we told them, come here. I'm going to say, I say, all the margin now, when you go make a deal, the lab, people forget. They will sit down and new government will not get the budget change to fight. They will go to the American, like money to attack people. Then they go put there the government and want to do this. But they forget that they will say, what is it when you go to them? When you party can the power of the people just honor the government, I have people looking at it. So the dealer will not get sent to remember something. When you party can get out, the chair to sit down and face the country back. Will be the same.
Okay. We have others on the line too. Hello, welcome. I'm okay, my CC. Welcome to the show.
They say, are you sure coming working to power? I know heading to Esther. They Buccaneers. I know heading to. But if they can't afford the situation, we can't handle now in this country. Everybody is trying out what it is. You just started on cases, very on cases, no day. All this for here and there. All of cases, you not end, you go all of cases. You said for you to see the hotel for car, say that our government car, when it's down there, you live on there again. You can go and make us again. The other case say, and the capital, they say, go for a place. You say, oh, for me. Now, when I got to end, my daughter Esther, what for me on? On a walk, I said, don't they say, then the woman said, they're talking about people, they said, ginger people. Then they honor my something. You say, you're not believing. They are very dangerous. They see Arab when they play to the last of the Bobo. They tell the Bobo Ponte. So they forget it. Say they go make Bobo and what comment say here. And take little of nothing in their pocket. And then they do the red with a red book with speed it on the book in a photo for a coming here. We will not get a new chance. We will not get a chance. They must stop what they're doing to our country. We're not working on we are going with life and they will do all this. People defend on this thing there. Send you all the market. But you are going to put me answer. But I tell you that I'm paying very more about paying time. The people in Masatoga are still going into how much of it. Because it's not easy. Renting now is very hard. What everyone will teach you all of them working for. So this is $25 US. If you get bathroom, get a place. So you enter from and say, and I tell you, you enter the $25 US. So they will outfit suffering. No business going into that fast. Oh, yes, in the 3 days. And then we start
Okay. Keep your transactions coming in, folks, this morning. Keep it coming in. We're taking more calls and we're discussing these very important things that are happening in our country. We don't have the luxury of time, and it's important that we all put our voices. And the sad part about this thing happening in Grand Judah, the Grand Judah first, with these Burkina Bees there, leasing this land, is the fact that the superintendent of that county did not inform the town chief, did not inform the people of what was happening. Already, the people have been reporting on the huge flock of Burkina Bees in that part of the country. The government did not handle that. The next thing we are hearing is that the superintendent have gone ahead to lease this land to Burkina Bees. Now, the residents are angry. It says, according to the paper, it said there is a brewing tension currently in that part of the county, which is a sad thing. And we're hoping that the people will wait until they can hear from government instead of taking laws into their own hands. We don't know much about the Burkina Bees. We don't know how they came into the country. We just heard that they were in this part of the forest, unknown to the people. And now they have right to that particular land where they're growing cocoa. So we don't know what's happening, but we need to hear from the information minister. He got to tell us what's happening down there. Today is Wednesday, tomorrow is Thursday. There's another press briefing. I hope those journalists that are assigned there will be able to ask the necessary questions concerning what's happening in that part of the country. Hello, welcome.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm okay. Welcome to the show. Go ahead. You have 60 seconds. Go ahead quickly.
Yeah. And that particular guy who is the superintendent for Grand Judah County, he was a former representative of that county. And when they started coming into this country during President Weah's time, Mazra Dendes, who was a senator, he didn't win the election. When he started flagging the issue, that guy was a guy that was fighting Mazra Dendes. They said, the people are coming. They don't have documents. We don't know how they are coming. It is important that we document everything so that we can know who bringing the people in so that we know you were fighting Maxwell Dende at that time. So what at that time the government tried to do, President Weah's time, is okay. Say you want to come make farm. The poor will want to bring you a MLK, want to bring you a MLK 100 acres. If I gave you my 100 acres, you clean it, you plant the cocoa, say you get money, 20 acres would be for me. Time for harvesting. When we're ready to harvest, 20 acres going to be for me so that I can be able to sell it and get some proceeds from there whenever you made a fund how we're going to do it. But the government now that come to power now, they have come now to change everything. Because they want to go in here what they're telling you about 30 years lease agreement. This government is the wicked government. We're talking to the people who are looking at it. They want to grab everything, they put it in their pocket, and then when they leave the thing, then tomorrow government that will come, they will start struggling, and even the Senate are struggling. And so tomorrow will come, the Senate will continue to struggle with what they are doing. I ain't see you when you go get land to somebody for so year 150, every 10 years 150. Why? Why they fight state that for going back? Why they get go back in? So that when you get your own today, tomorrow be able to get on here. Even when you leave the sea, all of them will come to benefit. But look, to conclude, my sister, this thing that we've been saying here, they say that opposition talk. The government is struggling to the core. So everything they will do to get money from the citizens, they will do it to get it. And they are getting it, they are not putting it to go use, they are just there to be able to rob the Labrador so that tomorrow to come, even when they leave, the government will be very, very strong in it. They will not have no way to move on. So that's the beginning. They will do all they can. This is a wicked government. So we need to skill up to this government. And I guess we need to go for the Senate on that side Then I oppose it, I heard it up, and I FS2. They were clean up, I was telling you that I can't take call for there and saying the shit that they are seriously opposed to, they will not agree to it. So I hope they will push it so that they think a big deal. So you can't do that. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your contribution. Just before, I'm sorry, we can. Right? There's this video circulating on social media where a police officer is seen on the Kakata Highway with this speed detector in his hand, you know, trying to see who running faster than they should be running, all of that. And I'm really concerned because at the end of the day, we don't know what's happening, right? There are a lot of drivers, and I'm driving too. And I'm not being told about anything. I'm on the radio also. I've not heard any awareness as to how many miles people should be running. Besides that, I think there should be street signs that telling you, you know, when you're running on this road, this is the amount of miles you should be running. And so this is something that we're not aware of, and we hope that the police officers are not going to be, you know, penalizing people for this. I hope you guys are only on testing, because we don't know what you guys are doing. I don't even know what the purpose of that thing and all of that. So you guys have to educate us before you can come to, you know, holding people liable for things, because this is not something that we know about. We understand that other countries have been using it. Speed detector is a good thing, but I think the education should be done before we start to use these equipments and penalize people for running. Because if you cannot tell me how many miles I should be running on this particular road, I don't think you have the right to arrest me if I'm speeding or not. So this is it. And folks, this is how we like to draw down curtains on today's presentation of the program. From the Print News, is Wednesday, and we will be here on tomorrow on the What's on Your Mind edition of the program from the Print News. My name is Esther Daku. We had Suleiman Hashim Tunis here with the weather report. Do have yourselves a great day. Bye-bye from our end.
As soon as they pray,